Hi there, finch fanatics. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about this double flight cage that currently houses my pair of zebra finches. I have Tweedle here, who is a wild type gray male, and then his mate is Beep, who is a pied female, and you won't get a shot of her because she's in the nest sitting on eggs right now. And the other pair that I house is a pair of owl finches. There's my male. My female's in the nest, not sitting on eggs that I know of, but she likes to hang out in there. I think my owls both enjoy a little bit more privacy than my zebras. But this cage I ordered from Amazon.com in the US. It was marketed as a Pawhut double flight cage. I do believe this product is sold under many different names on Amazon. The same product seems to appear in many different listings with slightly different descriptions, but they all appear to be the same product to me. This cage is about 62 inches wide, and the reason I settled on this particular model is because it has, you can see this here is a handle that would slide this divider out. Right now I'm running it as two separate 30-inch flight cages, but I can remove that divider and use it in a more community aviary style. So I could have my birds existing together in a bigger space. And I think that would work if I wasn't interested in doing any breeding, but because my zebras are a little bit more aggressive, I need to keep the divider in if I want my owls to have a chance at doing any breeding. The other thing I've found is my zebras who have eggs in the nest immediately go and try to invade every other nest in the cage if they have the option. So I've got to keep them in their own territory. They're happily sitting on eggs. I know that there are more than 3 in there, but there are 3 that are at the top of the pile that I can see. And hopefully we'll have some baby zebras in the next week or 2. Other things I liked about this cage were the style of the doors. I had a cage before this from Preview Hendricks that had a big door that was easy to get in and out of for cleaning and care. The cage does come with this stand that has rollers. It's good for storage. You can see I've just put some cloth bins under there to hold all of those gems that you have when you keep birds. Check out here, the waste trays, there was a big gap between the waste tray and the bottom grate. So I actually put some foam pipe insulation on the rails to help hold it up. It definitely reduced the gap that I get here. And then the grate could probably be raised a little bit. There are some more modifications I might make down the road. At this point, I'm keeping the mess in pretty well, so I'm not too worried about it. The last thing that I did to enhance my mess guard was put this layer of, I'll show you the product. It's actually shelf liner that I found at my local Lowe's home store. So it's classic clear easy liner. You can see it has a texture to it, which I thought was fine because it was going to camouflage some of the mess that might end up on it anyway. It's not transparent, but it's certainly translucent. You can see light through it. It does not look hideous, I don't think, on the cage. What I did was took the liner and cut it to size, and then I just wove it into the bars of the cage. It seems to be working quite well. The birds pay no attention to it. It's easy to clean. It keeps the water spray in from their bathing activities. You can see Mrs. Owl is out now. They're a very handsome pair, these two. And then, oh, it looks like Beep has emerged from the nest as well. So we have, here's my pied. Sorry, get the camera to focus on her there. That is my pied female, who I think is quite lovely. Oh, come on, Beep. There we go. Gonna say hello? She's not feeling very photogenic today. This cage, you can see the latches are functional. They're not super sturdy. They're a little bit wiggly. The cage has, each cage has 4 of the sliding type doors and comes with this style of food tray if you wanted to use those. I added mostly my own perches, and I like these silo style waterers because they keep the birds from bathing in them. Anybody who's trying to reduce the risk of the birds bathing in their water. These silo style waterers are great. The birds adjust to them quickly. You can see them drinking out of them regularly. And then these tidy feeder, hopper style feeders are also fantastic. They reduce waste, they keep the mess in, and depending on which style you get, the style that's in my zebra finch cage actually allows for 2 different types of food. So I put finch crumble on one side and seed on the other. You can see that needs to be filled up. And it works really well. These bottom trays simply slide out and you can empty the hulls that way. Overall, I'm happy with the cage. I'm not as happy with it as I was with my Preview Hendricks Park Plaza cage. I really loved the color, the style, and the big metal seed skirt. I'll insert a picture of that cage here so you can see what I had going on before I decided to keep multiple types of finch. The reality was I wanted one cage space. I didn't want to have multiple cages in multiple rooms or try to just shove a bunch of mismatched cages into my bird space. So this particular model made the most sense, and it's super practical. It's doing the job. It's happily keeping birds separately. If I change the type of birds that I'm keeping, whether it's a community that can all live together, I can slide that divider out, or if I end up just keeping one pair, I can slide the divider out and use the whole cage for one pair of birds. The last style I considered was this same flight cage size, but it was 2 stacked on top of each other, so it takes up a smaller footprint. That would have been nice because you can see I have kind of the corner of this room where I could tuck the cages. They wouldn't be in front of a window. However, you wouldn't be able to take advantage of both spaces for one open bird living space if you decide you wanted to do that. So this was the most flexible design for me. The color on this one, I believe, was called Black Vein. I wanted white vein, it was sold out. You can see black vein is black with silver. This is powder coated. The finish is fine. As with most of these smaller bar cages, the finish is okay. A few of the small bars came in bent, but I just bent them back. It wasn't a big deal. The directions were horrendous, but I managed to put it together all by myself. I have like a little basic practical knowledge about how to do things like that, and it was not ridiculously difficult. So, you know, for the $219 US that I spent on it, shipped to my door, I would say this cage is a good value. And again, practically speaking, it's functional. It does what I need it to. I can keep birds together. I can keep birds separated without having multiple cages in my house. And I think if you're looking for something that will accommodate a similar setup, I'd recommend it. If you have any questions, you can pop them into the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Take care.